Hi everyone, Louise from DGLT here. I hope you're all safe and well. So thank you so much for signing up to this series. We've been working with Tomahawk for quite a few weeks now to put together a series to help you, sort of guide you through this COVID craziness. Yeah, so what I'll do now is I'm going to pass over to the team at Tomahawk and we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Louise, and thank you for inviting us to join everyone today. Understanding that some people will be potentially now back in their office, some people are still working from home, but it's definitely a different world and will continue to be so over the coming weeks. So bear with me while I have a quick little technical play around and share my screen. And while I do that, I'd love for you all to turn your cameras on so that we can see who we're talking to. Would love for this to be a little bit more interactive, less deaf by PowerPoint, and we really want to see you and hear from you. So flick those cameras on, give us a wave, and I'm gonna go and share my screen. Love it.
Oh, it's so great to see everyone.
Fantastic. So hopefully if you can all give me a thumbs up that you can now see my screen, and there's a presentation that says marketing with the 5 stages of travel. Getting lots of thumbs up, so that is fantastic. It's always good when technology works. So I say thank you today. Thank you for taking the time today to join us and to register. Gina and I are going to be, I'll do a little intro shortly, working through the marketing with the 5 stages of travel and understanding what distribution looks like. But before we do that, we're going to go through some housekeeping and make sure that everyone's aware of what is kind of happening. Traditionally, we would talk about there's tea and coffee at the back, the toilets are down the hallway. Can't do that today, but the tea and coffee is in your kitchen. The toilet is possibly still in your hallway, and feel free to take a break if you need to, but we are only together for an hour, so hopefully it'll be fun and entertaining. As you know, this is a 10-part series, and you will automatically be registered for each of the series 24 hours in advance. We will be recording these, so just a heads up to everybody that these are recorded, and they will be available 24 hours after. If you're not able to join any of the sessions live, we do highly recommend that you watch it before the next one. And the reason for that is because they do all interlink, but also at the start of each one, we'll do a little recap and answer any questions that you might have had since you've gone back and maybe gone and tried to implement some of the things we've talked about, or you have watched it after the fact again. So keep that in mind. If you have got questions, you can reply to the email that comes out with the video link, or you can get in touch with the team at Love Taupo, and we'll collaborate and get together. And I just see that some more people are trying to join, so let me just let them in. And that's it for housekeeping. So I'm going to introduce you to your presenters today. So you've got Gina Palladini, who is our marketing director. She's the founder of the company, and I'm Renee, and I'm the marketing manager at Tomahawk. And over the next 45 minutes, we're going to look at the travel distribution and what things used to look like, and then what the new norm is, understanding the 5 stages of travel, what marketing platforms serve at each stage, and then provide you with a worksheet and some tools to go away and actually put this into place. And of course, questions. But if you have any questions throughout, do feel free to ask, and we'll touch on that shortly. So Gina, can I pass over to you to do a little intro on Tomahawk for those who don't know who we are?
Cool, thank you, Marina, and kia ora, everybody. My name's Gina, as Renee said. So anybody that doesn't know who Tomahawk is and is wondering why Love Taupo chose us to work with, Tomahawk is a digital marketing agency that only specializes in tourism. So like all of you, we're definitely affected, and we're all working really, really hard during this time to, the buzzword, pivot our businesses. And we're really, really happy to be chosen to work with you as one of our pivot things that we'll be doing, which is these workshops. Tomahawk's really unique in the sense that most of the staff that you would be speaking to, like Renee or I, have been in the tourism industry. So we're not a bunch of marketing geeks or digital geeks or technology geeks. We've actually run tourism operations. And we also are one of the only agencies in New Zealand that has everything under one roof. So we can design a website, we can build a website, we can create a video, we can do social media, we can do digital marketing, so you don't have, and SEO, so you don't have different agencies pointing to each other. So that is our 10-second little introduction about who we are. We've been around for 11 years, so Love Taupo feels confident to share our expertise with you guys.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gina. So before we do jump into the presentation, we want to make sure that everybody is familiar with Zoom and how it works and knows where to find the chat. So at the bottom of your screen, there should be the option to chat to each other. And what we want you to do is go and find that now, get comfortable with it, and tell us what your superpower would be if you were to have one. So I'll start, and my superpower would be to have extra arms so that I can do multiple things at once. And for those of you who do know me, I love to knit, and being able to knit twice as fast would be amazing. So Gina, what would your superpower be?
You know, as much as I love sleep, I would love to not have to ever sleep, so that 24 hours a day, I could just be doing and experiencing and eating and drinking and traveling.
Sounds like a good idea.
My superpower. Yeah.
Nice. So it doesn't look like anyone's found the chat. So if you're getting stuck, you can also press Alt-H. Oh, here we go. We've got some. So awesome. Jeff would love to be able to fly. Gemma would love to salsa making. Holly wants to be invisible. Fantastic.
I just want to tell Gemma and Alex that I'm from California, where salsa making is a passion. So happy to come visit. I got 11 different kinds of salsa.
Breathe in water. That's
Mexican,
cool.
so she can kick your butt. Okay. Put my foot into it. Thanks, Holly, for the heads up on that.
Fantastic. Well, I love that everybody's been able to find the chat, and I love everybody's superpowers that are coming through. So that is fantastic. Understanding that we want to try and make this as interactive as possible. So if you do have questions during the next 45 minutes, please feel free to add them to the chat. We will answer some of those as we go. And then we do have time for Q&A at the end. So 100% utilize that space.
Yeah, the last thing we want to do, you guys, is to make this death by PowerPoint. We've all watched so many webinars in the last 7 weeks. So that's why we wanted your screens on, because we're going to be working together for 10 weeks. So let's really make this as interactive as possible. Yeah? Oh, Gemma, what's your superpower? Surely not salsa making. Good on you, Holly. Challenger.
Fantastic. So I'm going to pass you over to Gina, and she's going to talk through the distribution channels. This is an area that she is very passionate about. So like I say, feel free to ask any questions and really utilize the fact that we are available for you to do so.
Cool. Thanks, Renee. So you guys, look at this. We're starting, this is the first workshop. So we're kind of starting with the basics. And some of this you might be going, oh my gosh, at the beginning, I already know this. Why am I spending an hour here? Because we're gonna build a foundation. And I promise there's gonna be bites that you don't know along the way. So this is what travel distribution used to look like about 25 years ago when I first started in travel. When I, contrary to my accent, I've been a Kiwi for over 26 years. When I moved to New Zealand 26 years ago to marry a Kiwi that lived in Whitianga, there wasn't a lot for me to do there. So I started an inbound agency because all of my friends and family were like, hey, did you hear that Gina moved to an island off Australia? And so I wanted to share the beauty and the amazingness of New Zealand with people in America. I knew nothing about travel. So I threw up a website and I talked about the fact that there are no fly screens in New Zealand. Back then there was no Starbucks, but hey, it's really beautiful, you have to come. And and I didn't know that I was like doing something different, okay? I didn't know that you weren't supposed to talk directly to the client. Because back then in 1996, this is what travel distribution was like. You were a supplier, an operator, and you usually worked with a wholesaler who worked with a retailer who spoke to the traveler. So Bob and Betty Smith in the UK wants to go to New Zealand. They go to the corner retailer. That retailer calls the wholesaler or inbounder. They book you. You might have a website. It was really great. So as an operator, you just had to do a really great job and please your inbounders. But then it just changed. It changed just after 2004 and became a little bit more like this. And here's the reason why as tourism operators, we're all exhausted. Because not only do we have to put together an amazing product and please everybody that comes through our door, but we still have that horizontal chain of distribution that we've always worked with, the wholesaler or inbounder working with the retailer or the overseas traveler. We might be working directly with that overseas retailer. And then all of a sudden now we got to work with all the OTAs, and then we got to talk to booking.com, and then we've got to go to wanting a special with them, and then we've got all of these, and then we've got social media. We got Facebook, we got to answer TripAdvisor reviews. And then we're told that we've got to put videos on YouTube because it's the second largest search engine in the world. And then we've got to be on Instagram and Pinterest. And then if we want the young ones, we're on Snapchat and Airbnb. And then you've got to be on Google My Business because it's the backbone of Google Travel. So that's what we were dealing with BC before coronavirus. Now, we still have all those channels, you guys, but here's the changes that we're seeing. This is what we're seeing that's happening in Italy, that's happening in the United States, and already starting to creep into Australia and New Zealand. And that is the traveler is going directly to websites more than ever, okay? What happened, there's a really, really great example, an article on Skift. It's been shared all over, and if you haven't seen it, oh, sorry, on Focusrite. Happy to share it with you guys after. And that is that when Italy was hit with coronavirus and all of the Europeans and international travelers went to cancel their trips, all the OTAs were bombarded with phone calls and cancellations. And the travelers couldn't get through to them, right? So the travelers were going directly to the suppliers and being a human, talking to a human and going, oh my gosh, I need to cancel my trip. Now here's the thing, because they were talking human to human, over 50% of those that called to cancel, over 50% agreed to leave their deposits as a credit for when they're going to travel, okay? So we've got humanness coming back. Now, FYI, a number of the OTAs, both Airbnb and Booking.com, decided to make a blanket decision because they couldn't handle all of the phone calls and people that were coming, and made a blanket decision to give everybody back their refunds. And that really, really angered the Italian operators. There's a MOU between over 2,000 Italian operators that have sworn they will never go back on Booking.com and Airbnb. So now the suppliers are taking back their distribution. The OTAs became popular after the last GFC because everybody was desperate for bookings. really, really hoping we all don't get super desperate for bookings and we don't go back there, because this is our opportunity to really stay human. We're going to talk about that in one of our slides a little bit later on, but just want to talk about how distribution is changing. Your website is more important than ever. That's the main part of this. The OTAs, they're moving down to the bottom as opposed to the top. Right now, we put a red squiggly line between wholesalers and retailers. They're going to be still so important to you. But unfortunately, the inbounders, as we know, that we love, that I was an inbounder for 12 years, they're trying to do a little pivot right now, right? They're trying to help with some domestic and they're trying to still nurture. So just in the short term, they're just unfortunately not going to be such a main source for us, but they will come back. So that's just a wiggly line. They're not gone, obviously. We need them. Okay. Whew, that was a monologue on that one. Sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gina.
So we've got a little question for you guys. Holly, you probably already know this question, so you're not allowed to answer. Does anybody know the #1 thing that is searched online?
I'm not sure why Gina singled you out, Holly, but please don't take it personally. Because the answer is...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Tacos.
It's not
Yes.
tacos.
It is tacos. No. All right, so Gemma thinks it's travel and tacos. Does anybody else have a guess what the number one topic is searched online?
Looks like some people are typing, maybe. So I'm trying to look at people's videos to see if they're typing. I'm guessing travel and food.
Travel. Jeff, Maria, I can see your faces. Anybody got a guess?
Best places to weather.
Weather, food, accommodation. All right, 3 more seconds. All right. Okay.
Holly, I feel like Gina's added all this pressure.
All right. Guess what, you guys? #1 thing us humans look for on Google is porn. So Google cannot really go after porn as a vertical to make money on proactively. So what they are doing is proactively going after the #2 industry that, why do you think, Holly? Only because you're a great marketer, so I thought you might have seen one of our presentations before, so not personal. So Google cannot go after that industry and monetize it, so they are really, really going after travel, okay? So we're going back now about 6 years. Google did one of the largest research pieces ever done on how travel is booked. And they didn't just keep it to online. They did, Brene, let's make sure that we share this link too. They did a huge research piece to understand us, humans, and how we travel. And we all fit into the same box. And I'm sure this is really, really familiar to all of you, okay? We all do this. We talk about it a lot in travel. The first thing that we do when we are thinking about a trip is we dream. We dream about a place to go. We dream about something to eat. We dream about an activity to do. We dream about something to visit. And then we go, okay, so that's something I'd really love to do. So then you start planning or researching. Can I afford it? How long should I stay? What is the weather like? When's the best time to go? Then once you've gathered all of your planning and your research, you're ready to book. Yeah? Then you experience your travel and then you share it. You share it by word of mouth, you share it by social media, you share it by TripAdvisor, you share it everywhere. And that sharing then supports the dreams of others. We all know this, makes sense. This is going to be the basis of what we talk about today, because the easiest way to make a marketing plan, especially in the world that we're living in today, is following this. We aren't changing the way that we the process that we go through for travel. It's just that some of these steps are more important and are adjusted. Roger that. All right, let's talk about the first stage, you guys. This all sounds really obvious, but every single holiday starts with a dream, okay? It's what propels people into the buying mode and when you plant the seed. This is what everybody's in right now, worldwide. We're going to be releasing a really, really cool analysis piece on Monday. So we have 358 tourism websites that we've created, hosted, and we have been able to track the website visits during this time on coronavirus, when they've gone down and when they've gone up, and how much longer people are spending on sites. So it's really, really exciting to see that already people are already in the dream mode, already there. Remember that dreams are an emotional state. This is not logic. We're not at the logical state yet. So this is 100% about a dream and an emotion. And emotions are sparked by pictures and video. So when we say a picture speaks 1,000 words, a video speaks 1,000 pictures. So this is where we look at our videos and our pictures. And where's the best place to plant those videos and pictures? The dream stage is mostly done in social media, okay? In marketing, there's two specific verticals that I like to talk about. And social media is about inspiring, right? I don't know where I want to go. I don't know what I want to do, right? But I'm going through social media and I get inspired. I didn't know I was looking to go do a walk, you know, down in Taupo. I didn't know that trail existed. I didn't know that that foodie place existed. It's been planted into where I am every day, and now it's inspired me, okay? That's inspirational travel, which is social media. Intentional travel, intentional marketing is when you go to Google, because you already know what you're looking for, so you're using words to look at. And that is the next stage. This stage is all about inspiration, so it's all about social media. So on the right-hand side, on all of the forward slides that we're going to share with you and forward stages that we're going to share are our tactics and channels. Facebook, use all of the different opportunities that Zuckerberg offers us, okay? Use the carousels, use the video, use the weather ads, you guys. Has anybody used weather ads? You know, it's going to be beautiful in Taupo this weekend. You can do a weather ad that's triggered on good weather. Or if you're an inside, or if you see it's going to be bad weather, you can do a weather ad on things to do in Taupo or the region during bad weather, okay? Custom and mirror audiences. Can I get a hands up or a chat? Has anybody created custom audiences and then done mirrored audiences for a Facebook post or boost?
They're also known as lookalike audiences.
Yeah, or lookalike? No. Okay. All right. I've got a couple of no's, so I'm going to explain it because this is marketing gold, you guys. So you have a database of people who have stayed with you, experienced your activity, booked with your restaurant, right? You take those email databases. Oh, in fact, Renee, is this our third webinar where we go through how to do this?
I think it's the third or fourth. There is a webinar where we go through this.
So I'm going to explain what it is now so that you can get excited, because we are going to go through this together. All of our workshops, you guys, are interactive. We're giving you stuff to do. So what a custom audience or a lookalike mirror audience is, you take your database of emails, you go into Facebook and you import them, all those email addresses. Mark Zuckerberg and all of his gremlins then take those email addresses and send them out to Facebook, and they find any profile that matches to that email address and creates this little audience of everybody who has experienced you. Then they look at those people. They look at those people. What's their income? What do they like? What are their politicals? What kind of dog do they have? Blah, 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 blah. And then you go mirror. You push a little button that says lookalike. And they create a whole new audience of people that are like them. You now have a whole new audience that is similar to people who have experienced you. So you know that they're good, and boom, you can then go market to them.
Gina?
You have more help on this. Yeah.
Oh, we have a question.
Yeah.
David? Yep.
Well, there's some pretty obvious privacy issues around that, because the basic principle of the Privacy Act is that you collect the information for the purpose that you've got in mind. And if you use the information about people in terms of their email addresses or contact information, and for a different purpose from which it was collected, then you're really in breach of the Privacy Act. And I'm not trying to be difficult here, but I think
it's a good question.
Bring up a point that I should have prefaced it with. Thank you. Thank you. You must have in your business terms and conditions, you must, thank you, that you can use their email address for marketing. Now remember, when you upload those to Facebook, it's completely encrypted. You don't know who those new people are. You have no idea who they are. So number one, thank you. You have to have, we're going to talk about terms and conditions on the third stage. But in your terms and condition, everybody should include a line that says, we may use your email address, or do we have permission to use your email address for marketing purposes? But please also understand, you have no idea who that mirrored audience is. It's completely encrypted. You have no idea who those people are. It's just like when you use Facebook and you choose an audience and you go, I want people between 18 and 25 who are adventurous. You don't know who those people are, but you're boosting to them. So that mirror audience is just as invisible to you. It just is called a mirror audience. Does that address your concern? Because that's a really good question.
Yeah, but see, most of the information that we've collected, it doesn't have those that condition on it.
That's okay. That's what today, and that's what this new life is all about. We are all restarting right now. We are all startups, but with experience. That's exactly what this is about. So now, because there's also other terms and condition updates that we're going to talk about that you're going to need to do. So if you just want to make note of that, and then that means from this day forward, those who book with you, you have their permission. Yeah.
And we will go into more detail in that when we delve into Facebook as a platform. We will loop back in on that piece.
Absolutely. Do you feel comfortable with that? Or we can take it offline and even chat with you further, yeah?
That's fine, thank you.
Cool. You guys, Zuckerberg owns both Facebook and Instagram. So what you do on one is really easy to do with the other. The most popular thing on Instagram right now is stories. Now, again, we're going to be doing a whole thing on social media and delve into these in more detail. But if you want to make yourself familiar with stories, this is gold for planting the dream. Now that we're in level 2, you can do a little story walking around your accommodation. You could do a little story reminding everybody how beautiful Taupo is around you. The thing about stories is they're very authentic, and everything is about humanness right now. You don't have to be a professional, right? So that's a really good way to plant the dream. Dig up any of your old user-generated content that anybody who's been with you previously so that you can share that. We're going to talk about blogs. We're going to talk about email marketing next. And here are 2 free tools that are divine. And one is called Plotograph, which is my favorite. Canva is Renee's favorite. Plotograph is my favorite. So if you want to copy down that address, so plotographs are when you take a still image and you make one part of it moving, okay? We call these scroll stoppers. So when somebody's on their phone and they're looking at Instagram or they're looking at Facebook, they all of a sudden are looking, and here's this gorgeous picture of somebody pouring a glass of wine and just the wine is moving. Or here's this beautiful photo of Taupo, and then maybe just the water is moving, or just the clouds are moving. So we call these stoppable scroll stoppers. It's very fun to use and really, really popular. We actually create plotographs and use those as hero images on people's websites as opposed to videos, because they're that good and that effective. Canva, if you haven't learned how to use it, this is a great thing to use right now. It is how you can take an image and put text over it and make everything fun and wonderful for social media. So these two tools are social media gold and really great ways for you to get that dream going. We're spending a lot on the dream stage today because that's where all of our customers are right now. They're dreaming. Yeah? Has anybody had any great success with social media? Has anybody gone, yeah, social media is amazing, I've gotten so many bookings from it? Or, I mean, because social media will drive website traffic, yeah? Not really?
Not really, no.
Okay, cool.
So Ellie said in the past week they've had huge success. So that's really cool, and great to see that you've been leveraging this while people have been online, probably more so than ever.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Just query about Facebook and social media. What we don't want to do in our business is confuse our personal stuff that we might put on Facebook with our business stuff. Mm-hmm. Is it possible to separate those two things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can have a Facebook business page, and then you can have your personal account, and then what you can do is post different content on each of them. We will go into a lot more detail on the Facebook platform, and it sounds like that this might be an area that is quite popular at the moment, so we'll check to see when it is, and we might speak to Louise about switching this one around. Yeah.
So are you talking about setting up a business account, or are you setting up a group under your own account?
No, so a business account, so a profile, specifically for your business.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Happy to, once we've gone through that, if you've still got questions, look at how we can help.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, I just saw that I'm talking too much because we're already half an hour in. We've got 4 more stages.
Oh, so we're going to jump onto research.
So you guys, research is that second stage, and research is the one that's probably the most, after setting the dream and getting Kiwis and getting Aussies and other people dreaming about New Zealand. This one is vital right now, because what's happening right now with coronavirus is that there's this whole new level of angst and anxiety, and less people have the discretionary income, and there's a lot of resistance to travel, right? The way that you can give people confidence to book is by having as much detail and as much information on your website as possible about your product. So research means, if that's what the users are doing, content. And you have to diversify it online. And what we mean by that is any content that you put on your website, because one of the things we're going to talk about is how you might have to, here I'm using the word again, pivot your product for the domestic. Any new product, any new information you put on your website, think of the other places that you can put it. Put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. Is it appropriate for the Tourism New Zealand site? Is it appropriate for Love Taupo site? Where else can you put it? It needs to be diversified online so anybody that's doing research can find you. Remembering that 80 to 90% of travel is booked by women. They usually also hold the purse strings, and People are, in order to spend right now, because we've got a thrift, save, cash is king kind of mentality going on right now. We must give them the confidence to book. Okay, I cannot tell you that, say that enough. And what do I mean by that? Let's go over to tactics and channels. SEO and keyword research is something that is always important for your website, for your product, for your business, because Google runs your business as much as you do. Google has as much say in your business success as you do. So everything that we do, we have to please Google. So when we create a new product, or we put a new page on our website, or we talk about our new booking terms, or our new health and safety terms, we have to make sure we're using the right keywords and that we're pleasing Google. We please the user, we please Google. Yeah. But here's what I want to make sure everybody is doing. But before we do that, how many people have the ability to add a blog or a page to their website themselves without going to their website developer? Can most people do that? Yeah. Oh, so we got
Yeah.
we got yes. Good. Good. All right. Okay. So those people that can't, and those people that need to check, this is something. This is. I'm going to say the word homework. This is your homework right now, because it is vital. And I don't use that word lightly. It is vital that you put up onto your website your health and safety standards and health and safety operations during this time. Okay. So you need to give people confidence of what your cleaning is, your social distances is, how you are attentive. TIA, Tourism Industry Association, has put out guidelines for both activities and accommodations on what you can do.
So say it again.
TIA, Tourism Industry Aotearoa.
Okay.
And they're sharing all of that information, whether you're a member or not, because they recognize that not everybody can afford a membership right now, but we should try and support them so they are there for us. So it really is, oh, thanks, Holly. It is vital that information is on there. And think of yourself, right? If you're going to go somewhere and stay somewhere or do something, you want to know up front that they're recognizing this new world that we're living in, okay? We're going to talk about booking terms and conditions in the next stage, because the next stage is the booking phase. So those people that can't or aren't sure, please check in, because this is important that you figure it out for your business and you tell your customers. Now, here's the other thing. Those people who do, and I should have said this in a dream. No, it's under the research stage. So people are looking at your website and they're doing research. Please make sure that your imagery on your website doesn't have large groups of people front and center. Okay. Now, if you do maybe corporate events, or you do groups for school groups or something, if you put those on the pages that mention that, but just make sure your hero shot and all your shots that are front and center don't give the impression of people being close, if that's a possibility, because it's gonna trigger anxiety for people to see that. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, research content is king. We know that. We are going to be doing a whole presentation on Google My Business, because that is one of the key tactics and channels. All of our lives in the tourism industry, whether you're, Louise working for Love Taupo, whether you're Tomahawk, who's a digital marketing agency, or whether you're you, who is a tourism supplier, or whether you're an OTA, All of our lives changed on May 19th, 2019, when Google launched Google Travel. Because what happened is Google is gobbling up the organic, the first listings for the organic listings for a search. So we must make sure that we're doing SEO. We must make sure that we're taking care of our Google My Business. We're going to do a whole one on that. But if you already know about it and you have the time right now, check your Google My Business. We will also be talking about Google Ads and remarketing. Again, when you look at social media for the research stage, instead of doing pretty pictures, what you're going to post is, we hear that you want to feel safe, post what your health and safety standards are. So that's how you do a different stage acknowledgement in social media. Yeah? I'm talking too much. I got to keep moving. Keep going, Renee. All right, this is the booking stage. Everybody, hopefully everybody has the opportunity for people to book instantly on your website. Hopefully everybody has the opportunity to have the contact button clearly on their website if people need to contact you for extra confidence. And hopefully your booking engine is responsive, okay? That means that when somebody tries to book you on your website, even on a mobile phone, they can do it easily, okay? The main thing I want to talk about on the booking stage right now is that we all have to review our terms and conditions and our booking policies. This is going to be a hard one for me to say because it's going to get some reactions, but we all have to recognize where we are in this world right now, and that our mainstay for revenue right now is Kiwis. And what we know about Kiwis is that they are DIY travelers. What we know about Kiwis is they're very short-term, short lead time bookers. And what we know about Kiwis is they know the weather is really variable in New Zealand. So you have to have flexible bookings right now. So that means that if somebody makes a booking with you, your booking policy is that if you book within 24 hours, you have a credit to rebook for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I'm waiting for a scream. So understanding that Kiwis are going to book your accommodation, your experience. Maybe on a Wednesday, we've got a bad weather report. Maybe on a Thursday, we've got a report the coronavirus cases are up. So on Friday, they're like, I've got too much anxiety, I don't want to travel. But they already know they love you and they want to book with you. So don't grab their deposit and tell them they've lost it. Just please tell them they can rebook within a certain amount of time. How do people feel about that?
There are some issues with it because what we're trying to do with our businesses is stop people from having to, or stop the interaction really with credit cards. So we're having to go to things like PayWave, which is one thing, but also mobile FPOS machines. So and our preference is that people pay before they actually arrive, because one of the things we're trying to minimize is contact.
Yeah, so that's perfect, David, is that they've paid you for it. That's great. What you're saying to them is, hey, no problem. I understand you don't feel comfortable. You have 3 months.
Well, we don't feel comfortable. we don't want to get the bug from them.
So
it's a valid point. Yeah.
Yeah, really valid point. It's a really valid point. What we're talking about is that wouldn't you then love to be able to say to them, I understand you don't feel comfortable booking right now. I can understand that. We'll just give you a credit. You can just come within the next 6 months.
Uh-huh. So
that's what I'm saying, is that a lot of people say that if you cancel within 24 hours, you lose your deposit or you lose your money.
Uh-huh.
The new world that we live in is that, and I would expect it, we've got people saying here that we would expect it, is that instead of saying you've lost your deposit or you've lost your money, even though it's within 24 hours, we're going to keep it as a credit, travel when you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah. And this is something that some people do already because their activity is weather dependent. So for some, this will be the norm. For some, this will be very new.
And here's the thing, you guys, if you on your website really clearly say, here's how we're our health and safety operations, you guys, we want you to be safe and we want to be safe. And here's our flexible cancel within 24 hours booking policy. That gives people confidence, right? Okay, you guys understand this situation. I'm going to book with you. Hopefully I'm going to come this weekend, but if not, I'll come and see you in 3, 6, 9 months. And here's the nice thing. It's cash. So, all right, I'm so conscious of time. I love this interaction. All right, I'm gonna get through these next couple of slides because we're getting to the juicy bits where we give you something to do. The experience, okay? You've developed the dream, you've given the confidence to book. Thankfully, the weather and the cases are down and they've experienced your accommodation or your activity. This is your opportunity, obviously, to shine. You're a Kiwi owner-operated accommodation in most cases. I know you're putting your heart and soul into it, so it's gonna be great. Please make sure, while they're having fun and they're great, take a photo, okay? Offer to take a photo of them, right? Usually women are the ones that are taking the photo and it's only of the guy. If you take a photo and it's of both of them, it's gonna be shared, so you're feeding the next stage. So give them a great experience, and see if you can take a photo so you can ensure the next stage, and kick in, if you don't already, that post-stay communication. Now here's the trick about your post-stay communication. Somebody stayed with you, you've got their email address. Boom, 24 hours, 48 hours after they're gone. Thank you so much for choosing to experience us, stay with us. We understand that this is a unique time, so your stay has meant a lot to us. If there's something we can improve, hit reply now so we can update it as soon as possible. If you enjoyed your experience, can you please help? That's the key word. Can you please help us to share our product? You're not going to use that word. Experience with others, because we could really use the help with the tourism industry right now. And you don't tell them where to leave their review, you let them decide. So they can leave a review on TripAdvisor. You can give them a link to your Google My Business, because leaving a review on Google is far easier and Google is gobbling it up. You can leave a review on Facebook, wherever they want, but get a review. Yeah? I'm gonna keep pounding through because we got down to 10 minutes. Oh, not even. So hopefully that all makes sense. And then here's the share stage. Here's, I talked about post-stay emails too soon. Here's the share stage, you guys. This sharing is your free marketing. This is what feeds that next dream for that next person. Okay, we all know that we will take a reference and a recommendation from somebody we know more to heart than an advertisement. So sharing is the most important. So make sure if you use hashtags that you're promoting the hashtags on site and that you're using them in all your posts. Always use that word help. We're humans. We instinctively want to help. It's humanly who we are to service and help. So use that word. Kiwis don't like asking for reviews, but we all need help right now. And everybody's willing to do that. So go ahead and ask for it. Yeah?
Definitely. Fantastic.
So here's your key takeaways. So I've been doing a monologue now for 50 minutes. Let's think of these key takeaways before we get to the worksheet that you guys can be working on between now and the next webinar, the next workshop. Remember, the first 2 stages are amazingly important right now for the situation that we're living in. The dream stage, it's all emotional, right? It's all emotional. We need pictures, we need videos, and we need to provide confidence. That confidence is provided in the next stage, which is the research stage. You've got to create content. We're also going to do a whole workshop on creating content. Don't worry, I'm not a writer, but it's really easy. You don't have to be scared because content's all different kinds of stuff. So content right now, the most important content you can do right now is writing about what your health and safety standards are and getting that on your site as soon as possible, posting it onto your social media, and just keep feeding, look at your product and ask yourself, excuse me, would I feel confident to book this place in this current situation? The 7 words that will kill your business right now. Done. Close your shop. If you hear yourself saying, but we've always done business that way. None of us can do that anymore. We're in a new world. We're all startups. We have to review what we're doing. You must look at your booking engine, make sure that your terms and conditions are clear and front and center and flexible. Create an experience that's amazing. I know you already do. Take the pictures for them, talk to them, be really human so that when you do ask them to share a review, that you've got that relationship and they'll be there and they'll do it for you. And of course you're shareable. You're in Taupo. So, oh, go ahead.
No. As I was to say, one thing that we didn't touch on around that booking stage is don't overcomplicate it by asking for too many questions up front. It's really important to make it really user-friendly, ask for the essential pieces of information. Gina's going to put 7 fingers up shortly, but ask for 6. Oh, 6, sorry, 6 fingers up. So ask for a maximum of 6 things. If you need to know more information, for example, weight, dietary requirements, what sort of pillow they like, their check-in, their check-out time, you can do that before they arrive. You can send a pre-arrival email asking for that information, saying that you want to really personalize their stay or personalize their experience so that you're then getting that information ahead of time, but you're not bombarding them when they're trying to book. So it's really important that that's something you keep in mind and check out at the moment as well.
Yeah, so remembering you guys, 6 is the most you really want to do. Well, that's what the research will tell you. For every additional field you ask somebody to fill in, there's a 20% drop off in the booking process. Yeah, so it's the booking form fatigue or the booking form drop off. So yeah, thank you for remembering that, Renee.
Cool.
All right.
Not a problem.
Okay, cool. You guys, every single one of our workshops has an action for you to do. This isn't, I know that we've talked a lot and put a lot of PowerPoints, but it's really about giving you tools that you can use for your business right now. So here's how you can create or start thinking about a marketing plan for your business during this time, okay? And what we're doing is we're breaking it down that you create a marketing plan based on those 5 stages of the travel. Right now, the main thing that you want to be working with is 1, 2, and 3. So the dream, the research, and the book. So this worksheet will be sent to you that you can print off. Up on the top, remember your name, put your company name in. The campaign name, I'm gonna skip for a second and go straight to the target audience. This is where you're gonna choose your target audience, okay? These are the domestic travelers, you guys. Here's the thing. Kiwis are not a target audience. They're not. If you tell somebody in Chicago that they're the same as Auckland, imagine the response you're gonna get, right? You need to choose a specific market and not try to be everything to everyone, especially right now. If you try to do the shotgun, there's too much noise out there. Everybody in tourism is out there trying to get their piece right now, okay? The in this together has all of a sudden been forgotten 48 hours because everybody needs revenue. So everybody's out there trying to get their piece. The way that you can do it differently in Taupo is targeting people who are specific, hyper niche just for you. So what do I mean? Let's say that you have an accommodation that is is over that $300 mark, right? So you're going after, and you normally would be working mostly with agents and international travelers. What you want to do is you're going to want to target that certain audience that has that income, those likes, right? So you might go, I just want to look at Aucklanders, Waikato, Bay of Plenty that have these jobs and really are into food and wine. That's an audience. Kiwis are not an audience, okay? And then once you've defined your audience, you decide the name of your campaign, okay? And again, we all have to be hyper niche right now, okay? So we think about what's something that audience would be really, really intrigued and motivated by. And then that becomes your campaign name. And what that does is it keeps you in line on what you're going to do for each stage. So let's think about that top end food and red wine person. When we look at the dream stage, our objective for the dream stage is to inspire the dream, right? And increase website traffic. We want them to get to your website, right? What are the channels you're going to use? Social media. We're going to be using Facebook. We're going to be using Instagram. If you have any video, fantastic. So the nice thing about social media is it's less expensive than Google. Anything that you do on social media, if you have a business account, only between 2 to 4% of your posts are seen by your followers unless you boost it. And even $5 makes a huge difference to your boost, to your reach of how many people. So maybe you're gonna put $10, maybe you're gonna put $50, whatever it is that you can afford. CTA stands for call to action. So dream now, learn more, right? Your measurables, that if that is successful, because if you do something and you're just like, okay, now I hope something comes in. You need to know how you're measuring your success in the dream stage. And the way you measure the success in the dream stage is increased traffic on your website. Assets, or what is it that you're going to post? Are you going to post a picture of people in their 50s that are well-dressed, sitting in your backyard, enjoying a glass of wine? Make it really specific, right? So that's assets are the picture, the video, and what words you're going to use. Hopefully that makes sense and makes it really easy for you guys to follow through to the next 2 stages. So if I'm going after that market for the research stage, right? My objective is that people view more page, your objective is for them to book. So the objective is always the next stage, right? So your objective is to get more people to your website and people to book. The channels, your website, maybe Love Taupo, maybe Tourism New Zealand, maybe other marketing organizations that you belong to, whether it's Bayada, whether it's Luxury Lodges, what budget, what your measurables are going to be, how long they're on your website. It usually takes 3 pages of your website for somebody to have the confidence to hit book now. You want to aim for people to be on your website for 2 to 3 minutes in order for them to then hit book. Again, your assets are going to be what content. Are you going to write, are you going to do a new product for that audience? Are you going to write a new blog? So hopefully this is all making sense to you guys. You're going to have this as something that you can print and download. We're available for questions in the meantime. I have now talked for a full hour. It doesn't leave much time for questions. So if somebody needs to leave because they have another appointment or place to go, please do so. But does anybody have any specific questions about your first workshop? Hopefully you got some value out of that and it made some sense.
If you do have questions, and they might come up as you're working through the worksheet or once you've watched this again, like I said at the start, do feel free to reply to the email, and that goes directly back to Gina and I, or engage with Louise or the team at Love Taupo, and we will collate some answers ahead of the next webinar, workshop, which is on Tuesday.
Renee, would it be okay if you can put a bit of light on your face, because your face is very much in the dark?
Oh, I want to see you.
Is that it? No, let me, I can possibly move. Oh, there we go.
No, that's putting your face in the dark.
Working, yeah.
Well, next time we'll be in the office.
I'll make sure that, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be in the dark.
Great. It looks like everybody's getting some value. Absolutely fantastic that we're already motivated. So we're here together. We really are in helping your business, and we thank Love Taupo for having us. And yeah, enjoy the worksheet, you guys, and watching the recordings, and we look forward to seeing you the next time.
Thanks, Gina. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.